discomfort versus pain. Pain has a very strong emotional charge in our subconscious mind as well, not just in our practical mind, conscious mind, but also in our subconscious mind. Pain is associated to something traumatic, something more permanent, long lasting, something that feels you can't get out of.
Okay.
So if
Dead
it
end.
brings you back into that, deeper into that hole of seeing no end to it.
Mm-hmm.
This feeling, knowing or maybe not knowing, not being aware or not being aware, is what usually happens most of the time when you hear the word pain.
Mm-hmm.
Discomfort is something less severe, something more more easily processed,
Mm-hmm.
temporary,
Mm-hmm.
lighter,
Okay.
doesn't have to be attached to you.
Welcome to the Alchemy of Success coffee break.
My name is Pedro.
And I'm Anna. And today we're going to talk about maybe a very common topic, and that is how to understand physical discomfort that we might feel from time to time in our body, or maybe continuously, and easy to implement technique that will help you most probably to reduce this discomfort. And I'll interview today Pedro about this topic, as he had some experiences in this area with his own physical discomfort, but also by working with some clients. And that's why, Pedro, maybe before we deep dive into the technique, so guys, stay to the end, because the technique is really easy to implement, but also very deep diving. I'd like maybe to ask you, what does it mean, physical discomfort, and why we don't call it pain, but we talk about discomfort? And what is, from your knowledge, like the underground reason for physical discomfort?
Sure. So thank you for that. The first thing we need to talk about is, why do we use the word, or we're going to be using the word in this podcast, discomfort versus pain. Pain has a very strong emotional charge in our subconscious mind as well, not just in our practical mind, conscious mind, but also in our subconscious mind. Pain is associated to something traumatic, something more permanent, long lasting, something that feels you can't get out of.
Okay.
So if
Dead
it
end.
brings you back into that, deeper into that hole of seeing no end to it.
Mm-hmm.
This feeling, knowing or maybe not knowing, not being aware or not being aware, is what usually happens most of the time when you hear the word pain.
Mm-hmm.
Discomfort is something less severe, something more more easily processed,
Mm-hmm.
temporary,
Mm-hmm.
lighter,
Okay.
doesn't have to be attached to you.
Okay.
So
It's like, okay, if you discomfort, so let me
you just
sit a little.
move, twist a little bit here. You're able to manage it more, where pain feels more permanent and more jarring to the mind, and therefore to the body.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we like to use the word discomfort versus pain.
From your experience throughout your expertise that you have gained and so on, what is the number one reason that discomfort/pain is created in our body?
Thank you.
Based on researches and like the latest, understanding about our body.
The number one reason is underlying emotions.
Okay.
Trapped into our psyche, therefore that manifests into the body.
Mm-hmm.
The number one reason. So even if you are going through something physical, and you use your ability to work within yourself and see the event or the discomfort in a different way, you're able to change the perception of how painful it can be. You're able to also start releasing if it's a very strong emotion attached to it. You're able to also start releasing it by asking the right questions and going through the right process. So the number one reason is definitely emotions that are trapped within us that we have not released.
Can you expand a little about what does it mean, trap emotion?
Sure.
And is there a way to not trap the emotion, so to release it?
So trap emotions basically means the following. I'll give you an example. You went through an experience when you were a child. And the experience was very painful as far as it made you angry. Angry for the fact that maybe you were not able to express it because you know that whatever happens, if you express your anger, someone's going to reprimand you. Okay. So you hold it in. Okay. So that starts a pattern of holding in your anger. You might be stewing inside, but you don't express. You keep it in. You keep it in and you keep it in over and over and over again. So what happens over time? When you repress your anger inside your bodies, and there's neuropeptides everywhere, not just in the brain, there's neuropeptides everywhere in our body. That's scientifically proven. These neuropeptides has the ability to store emotions, memories, culture, beliefs. It stores everything as well within different parts of your system.
Okay.
So now what are you storing? One of them is emotions, yes? So now you're also storing the anger. And the anger sits somewhere in the body where you had the actual experience. For those of you, some of us that have been through a traumatic experience where there's, unfortunately, sexually, some of them are trapped in our sexual areas. Okay? The anger, the frustration, the pain. Others, when you get so angry, they're trapped in their chest because they're holding it in. So what usually gets affected is your heart and your lungs. Okay.
I heard, for example, that lungs stays for grief. When I was like researching a little about lung cancers, that is like more connected, this body part, to a grief. You know, I know there is some people, expert who is saying different organs are responsible or storing different emotions. You know?
But it could also be anger.
Okay.
Why is that? What do you do with your lungs? Isn't it a process of breathing? And like you're doing right now. You're breathing, yeah? And I'm seeing your chest expanding bigger and bigger.
Okay.
So what is happening? You're expressing at least your breath, the process of breath. Or are you expressing the process of your words? Are you expressing the process of your emotions?
Okay.
Are you letting it out? Are you exhaling your emotions?
Or not just holding in tight in the body. Okay.
And how does it feel? Let's do that right now. I want to show this to the people, Anna. Take a deep breath. Hold it. And when you're holding it, put your body a little tighter. And tighter. And tighter. Let it go slowly. Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to ask you the following question. You just experienced it physically, what's happening inside of us. When I was asking you to hold your breath, it's a moment of impact. Could be trauma, but it's a moment in time that you had to hold your breath. And we do when we're dealing with something strong. I told you to make it tighter. You're contracting your body. It's getting tighter and tighter. Is that a comfortable feeling?
No.
Okay. Does it feel like you can move easily in life?
No.
Like you can move your body easily? No.
No.
And how did it feel when you actually exhaled?
Release. Like really peaceful, like, oh, God bless.
Okay. That's what's happening with your body.
Okay.
So imagine holding on the anger.
Okay.
Is it a comfortable feeling?
No, because I would like to explode.
Exactly.
Just like let it out.
Exactly. Now, what would have happened if I told you not to release your breath? You kept on holding it and holding it and holding it. What eventually would happen to you?
Okay, so normally we have this inner feeling for self-sustainable, you know what, like, so I won't like hold so long that I'm gonna just die, you know. But if I don't have the possibility to release it, of course, the last part, it's like, boom, Done.
There you go. So what happens when we go through certain things within our body? We go through the slow process of losing ourselves and losing our connection because we're losing our breath, we're losing everything. Then eventually we could potentially die.
Mm-hmm.
So we should
we are
practice
adding
releasing.
it.
We're
Okay,
adding
that
the
means-
layers, but we're not releasing it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what happens when I say trapped into the body.
Mhm.
And you just did a physical visualization of what that actually means.
Mhm.
And that how
So
not
try it
comfortable
at home, by the way. Guys, if you watch now and you have the possibility, try it just at home or wherever you are and just feel in the body. And then after that, thank God. He didn't force me to hold it anymore.
But that's what we
Okay.
go through. That's what we go through.
That's in. And what would be, do you know a healthy way to, before we go to the technique, when it's already manifested as a physical discomfort, but when we're in a situation when these emotions rise up, is there a healthy way how to release them through the body? So not
Okay.
to hold it and layer them?
Sure. So I'll give you another example. Is you probably have seen this in nature shows. Okay. What happens to the deer when it has just been almost caught and killed by a lion or a crocodile, depending on where you are? What do they
It
do
runs
immediately after that? Right. But after they escape it, I don't know if you've seen it, so I'm going to explain it. But what happens usually after they escape such a traumatic event? They shake
They move
uncontrollably. And that I know you've seen. There's a reason why.
Okay.
Just like in what they teach us, why they always tell us, shake your body, shake your energy, shake your emotions. The reason is you're also shaking off the trauma.
Okay. The emotion that went
The emotion that you're
like,
going through. So it doesn't get trapped in the body.
the whole chemicals that are produced,
Yes,
like
yes.
adrenaline and not serotonin, but cortisol, like stress hormones and so on. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's why some people say you need to do how you say belly dancing, because a lot
Gotta
of
move the
emotion
energy.
are in the hips,
Mhm.
and when you move this, you release a lot of stuck emotions. Okay, cool. Okay.
So how do you're asking me, how do you prevent from something manifesting within your body? Is there's many different things you could do. Number one is shake it off, right? Sometimes obviously you're in front of a person or an event, you can't really shake it off.
They say, what's going on?
Exactly. So you go back to something that you can do wherever you are, and you just did it in front of everybody. You breathe and you release it, and make sure that your breath is longer. Your exhale is longer than your inhale, twice as much. So you like to do 3, 3, 6. Breathe in for 3, hold it for 3, breathe out for 6.
Okay.
Or do 4, 7, 8. Breathe in for 4, hold it for 7, and breathe out for 8. Whatever you are able to easily do to start with, which is usually 3, 3, 6. Start with that. And some people go, well, I can't exhale for 6 seconds. Try the following method, which is simply breathe like you're breathing out through a straw. And relax.
I think the most women that already had baby in a natural born way, they learn how to breathe out like slowly, literally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can tell you, it was one of the exercises that saves me through this process.
And there's other things you could do. I'll give you another one. Okay. So the other thing you can do is be self-aware that you need to express something. And the reason I don't say that up front is because some people have a really hard time expressing because they've been maybe conditioned and experienced that they have to keep it in. And it's very strong culturally, depending on the culture that you come from, that you have to your parent says something, you need to be quiet, not say a word. So you stuff it in. Right? And usually most of the time it's like that. So, but if you can, and if you're ready, try to at least express your emotions. Maybe it's by speaking or simply, you're angry. You'll go, right? Like,
But please not with punch in the face or something.
No
Not
physical violence.
expression.
We do not condone that.
Yeah.
But some people, what they do, and they don't realize this, is, oh, I love to go to the gym and I love hitting that punching bag. That's my favorite workout. I go, really? That's amazing. First, you're getting physical exercise. That's amazing. And what do you feel when you hit that bag? Such amount of release. What are you releasing when you hit that bag? My anger. Okay. What are you angry about? When I say the word anger, what comes to your mind? Okay.
Okay.
You see how even something good, physical exercise is excellent. Physical exercise is excellent. But is it something that's an emotionally charged exercise that you feel like you're getting something out of your system? If the answer is yes, then do you want to actually take care of it in a more permanent way versus just, I need to release it because I'm about to kill somebody or I'm about to punch somebody? So you need to be aware that even what you are doing in a positive way, is there a bigger underlying reason that you're doing it in the first place?
Okay.
So you're telling me, how do you prevent it? By recognizing these little things that you're doing already right now. As you're watching this, you're already seeing this, that you're watching and you're doing and you're feeling what's happening right now at this very moment, that you feel a release. And do you know why you're doing it in the first place?
Before we go to the next question, or actually to the technique, how to identify like maybe the underlying reason for the physical discomfort. If it's okay with you, I'd like to share one additional method that I learned, especially if you're a brain person like me. So I need to proceed a lot through my intellect. So sometimes I need to understand something, so it's easier to make it. And when I was learning emotional coaching, and going through the whole process, what's happening in the body and how the emotion are stored, I learn, and that's what you say, that when like a lion tried to chase a deer, and that there is like a measurement that it takes 19 seconds. So it's like 1.5 minutes to proceed this emotion through your body, because the body is kind of like a burner. So that means when you proceed the emotion through your body, it gets burned out of your system. And what do I mean by proceeding is really feel it to the fullest, not act out of it, but like expand it. So if we take the example of Pedro, like anger, like really expand the feeling of anger to the maximum, like inside. Because what we tend to do is run away from the emotion. We don't want to feel. A lot of people say, try to stay positive. Don't think about the emotion. Suppress the emotion. Exactly what you say. Maybe because we learned from children, we are not allowed to express our emotion, because in this stage we wasn't able to control the expression of it. So mostly was like falling on the floor and like, but as an adult people, we can feel the emotion to the biggest possible way. And after 90 seconds, I promise you, when you just take the phone or whatsoever, put 90 seconds and just feel it, you suddenly feel how your body, it happens the same way like breathing out, because it's get burned out. And when I realize it's just a 90 seconds, it's not 90 days, it's not 90 hours, it's 90 seconds, that I personally stopped running from feeling the emotion that I felt, that otherwise I'm going to die if I like expand it to the biggest.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you're allowing it to actually let it process through you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, because the body burns it, it's like all these hormones that are created, this chemistry, they'll be like completely through your cells, through your immune system, they will be like kind of transmuted, so to say. So you want to say something?
Yes. So even to do that, you have to be self-aware.
Of course, that is like a next level.
Yeah.
That's why, exactly. So it's like that, what you say is like more easy to start with it. Mm-hmm. But with the time, when you get more awareness about yourself and not afraid of this, then you can go to the mastery level, like burn it. So Pedro, before we start this episode, you shared that you came across a beautiful technique, easy one, and how to understand what is the underlying reason for this physical discomfort. And it's like a shortened version of it because we don't want to overwhelm you all of this. Would you share what is this short technique and directly give the technique to our listener so they can immediately implement it? I think everybody has sometimes during the day some discomfort, more higher than lower. So it's easy to be implemented and to just observe what happens after that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So the first thing is you ask yourself a series of questions, and there's three really important ones that you could start with. There's more, of course, but let's just start with three. And hopefully that will start the process of understanding what's really happening inside of you that you can explore on your own. And then we'll go through, how do I release it? What is the best way to release it? And we'll see when we'll go through that process right now. So the first thing is, when you're having certain discomfort around your body, I always ask, what is your memory of the first moment of this discomfort? When did it start? What is your first memory? I like to use the word memory because we all have memories. And if you're able to talk to the individual in a moment of calm, something might pop up and they actually remember when this originally started. Okay. And then you ask, were there any triggers or interactions or reactions? Triggers is more of a reaction, an emotional reaction that you feel inside when you're interacting with somebody or something. Are there any triggers that you notice that make the discomfort more or less expressive? Which basically means when you're doing something and there's something happening to you, you're reacting emotionally to something. What is happening? What is happening or who is happening? Are you involved in a scenario, or is this someone specifically that's getting that charge out of you when you start feeling maybe a pain in your lower back? Maybe your chest starts getting a little tighter. Okay. And now, yeah, exactly. And you feel even more stiff, more rigid. Or maybe your bones start hurting for some strange reason. Okay. It's kind of weird, but people go through that. So be aware when that's actually happening, when this is starting to kick in. Okay. So when is it being more or less expressive? The reason we say less is because sometimes you've been having this condition for so long, it's been chronic, so long, then when does it go down? Oh, when I'm not in this type of situation, or I'm not speaking to this individual, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. That's why I say less. Because sometimes you're not even aware because it's been happening for so long, but you are aware when you actually have moments of relief. Okay. Where it's not as intense. Then, what is the underlying emotion under that experience? And this requires honesty. Is it anger? Is it guilt? Is it grief? Mm-hmm. What's going on? What's the underlying emotion under that experience? And then when you find that, that's when you start opening the rabbit hole and going into it. When was the first time you felt that anger or grief or abandonment? Could be an abandonment emotion. When did you feel first excluded, left alone? You see how this could be very deep and very personal. And when this comes up, how does that feel? Perhaps the emotion comes up. Perhaps the recognition of that emotion comes up, which means you'll actually feel a little something perhaps in your body. And when you get these two things going, either at the same time or consecutively or some sort of manner or fashion, the body is talking to you. It's telling you you're on the right track. and you start doing what Anna's doing. You start swallowing. It feels a little dry. Your breathing changes. Your breathing changes. This is
Yeah.
important. Your
Yeah.
breathing changes. You get physical cues that you're onto something, or maybe you just simply pause, and you get a little. Your eyes feel a little overwhelmed.
I can maybe share it, so I have no problem. I'm like vulnerability, something I start embracing very strong. So maybe for you guys to see the process that I went through. So I used to have for years condition with my throat that in a certain times it burns a lot, and then there could be like days or weeks where it's gone, and then there could be days or weeks when it's like so strong that it's like burning the whole time, and I really need to drop all the conversation and everything because it's really increasing the burning and the pain within my throat. And I was working on this topic for a long time, but what I realized now, because the first time when it comes was I had angina. I don't know how you call it in American. Angina is like the Latin name of this illness. It's when your throat gets swollen and you have like it's very you have like how do you say the word is missing now? Inflammation.
Okay.
So I just get from now of today, like 40 degrees, like really high temperature, 40 degrees. I don't know. You need to calculate it in Fahrenheit. Very high temperature, like beyond 40 is really dangerous for your mind because it can like overheat and I dizzy and so ever. And I started taking antibiotic for this, and that was in a time where it was supposed to go to a holiday vacation with a family friend of us, with my back there husband and child. And I tried to do the impossible so I get very fast fit. Like went to the doctor, even with this dizziness, I drive with the car so I can get like a shot of vitamin C, get all the stuff. I immediately knew what I was even better diagnosed than the doctor. I told him what I have, and he said, no, I don't see it. And I told him I have it, because I'm a child from a doctor, so I know how to diagnose myself. But the interesting part was I tried to do all the possible and kind to settle the situation. And on the third day, I start feeling like more better. So we were supposed to drive next day to this holiday. And because it was a lot of back and forward discussion with the family, as we had a book like a whole house together, what we do, because I didn't want it to be in any near the children, or like I had no idea, how this can be like given to somebody else. But I had still a lot of pain when I was trying to talk to my friend back there and to explain it to her. And she was very angry. She didn't understood that I did the impossible. So we didn't cancel. I tried to do the best for them so they can have the vacation, and yet not, just to organize everything with more than 40 degrees temperature, and actually feeling like I cannot explain it like what. It was terrible. But because my throat was hurting and my voice was gone, so that means I needed to speak like that. Do you know this situation where the voice is so, when it's gone, but it's also hurting if you try to go on a higher frequency? And she was shouting on the phone and kind of like angry, actually not realizing how much I shifted to make this all happen. And it wasn't my fault that this happens, something like that happens. So I just realized now by asking the question that you say is that I had back there the feeling I want to express myself. I want to say my truth. I want to really, and I had the feeling on the other side that the person doesn't give me the room to express, because as I didn't have voice, she could easily with her voice, overpower my voice. Because she wasn't willing, but she forced me to have a conversation on the phone because she didn't want it with the writing. And I told her it's painful. I cannot speak, but she forced me and she was angry and so ever. So that means I actually, in a time where I felt I need to express myself and also to express also my feeling. And I felt so misunderstood. I was forced to use my voice, but actually it wasn't available, but I forced it. So I overstimulated it, you know, and what I realized that in situation where I had the feeling I need to express myself, like I had this urge inside, I need to say something, you know, but maybe in this moment the realm is not there, or like I don't know, it's not the right setting, that it's start hurting painfully again.
Okay.
And the emotion is like this kind of, how to say it, like it's not just anger, but it's this like feeling powerless
Exactly.
powerless to express through the voice, because the voice wasn't available at this moment.
Okay. So the first thing, so may I ask you questions?
Shush, go ahead.
So perhaps you also need to distance yourself from the word forced, because nobody forced you.
You know, it's, yeah,
Here's
I
what I'm saying.
understand what
No,
you
but
mean. Yeah.
here's what I'm
Yeah.
so let me for the viewers. Why is that an important point? When you start thinking someone is forcing you, you're giving away your power
Mm-hmm.
completely. Also your power to speak. Okay. So the first recognition when you're going through these things to start to empower yourself is, I am making a conscious choice
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to speak to this person, or I'm not going to speak to this person. Why is that important? That is a pausing moment in that situation when you go, wait a minute. No, she doesn't want to text me, then I'm not going to talk to her. Simple as that. So you bring back your power, you bring
Mm-hmm.
back your center, you bring back a little something within your throat in a positive way. You're going to find your voice internally first before you
Mm-hmm.
externally express.
Mm-hmm.
So
Boundary.
exactly. So the word force is already, nobody's really forcing you. The word force
Mm-hmm.
is already a first clue that you need to pause. When you start feeling the word force, like, oh, I feel like I'm forced. Pause. Is someone really forcing you? Maybe they are, because there's certain scenarios where you do something and there's a repercussion, but is someone really forcing you?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is no, then you take that next step, which is, okay, then you have a choice to make. And you see how your throat will feel a little bit different, because you're like, wait a minute, I get to rest. I don't need to speak to you right now. Okay. So that's why I wanted to share that. If you go through that scenario, people, the viewers, the listeners, is you pause in that perspective when you start feeling that word coming into your mind.
So what's the trigger point also? Like not just the word, but like that was the trigger. So is it like that?
Exactly.
Is it true? So to say.
Exactly. Is it true?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I doing it to myself? Okay. So that was, I thought that was also important to share with that piece. And thank you. That's a great example of what we're talking about. It's a great example. So now that
I
you're going
hope,
through
guys,
this,
it helps you. My own experience. So for you, it's of course different. Yeah.
so
Perfect. So now we have this answer. What would be the next step?
okay.
So like maybe write it down also, like to have like this. Some people are more visual, whatever, not just like say it, but like write it down.
Yeah.
And then
You could say it, you could write it down, visualize it. Writing down is a good way to doing it, to recognize it. Once you recognize what's going on, that emotion, what has started, right? All these different things that you've gotten into a little bit of a rabbit hole. You're like, wow, that's going to hit you hard, which is good, because that means it's true. Otherwise, it wouldn't affect you. Okay. But it's going to hit you hard. So now you go, not great. Thank you, Pedro. Now you brought me to this moment. Feeling crappy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm feeling it again, right?
Yes.
So here's the first trick I'll tell you. If you could bring up the emotion and you could bring up the discomfort, you also have the ability to lower the discomfort and recognize the emotion and let it pass. What people don't realize is I am feeling this way. I am, the discomfort is so high and I'm bringing this up, which is true. But you're doing that just by putting your mind to it because you're bringing up the thought. So it goes up. You also have the power and the ability to bring it down. And that is sovereignty, which will allow you to start the process that we're about to do, which is releasing it from your system.
Mm-hmm.
But that moment, you also need to realize this. Now I'm talking to the subconscious mind of people. Like as you have the ability to bring it up, heighten emotion, it comes up, and also that the discomfort comes up. You also have the ability within yourself to bring it down. Okay, so now if we accept that fact, then we move on to the next stage, which is start with breathing to anchor yourself. Because breathing you could do anywhere, anytime, any place. So the breathing we're going to do today is a short one, which is the 3-3-6. And when you do this breathing, do it for 5 consecutive rounds. Okay? Why? At that point, it triggers your vagus nerve. That means you come in with calming, relaxing, starts feeling it in your body, and you start becoming more calm. And you're no longer anxious, anxiety, discomfort. It all goes down after the 5th one. Some people feel it after the 1st one, but that's why you need to do 5. So we'll go ahead and start doing the breathing exercises. And after that, I'm going to go a little meditation, very short. You're going to start feeling whatever you're feeling it. I'm going to start releasing it. So when you guys are ready, find a place where you could be comfortable. Every place, whatever that place is. So you could pause at this point if you need to pause this video or the podcast or where you're listening. And when you find that place, and I'll do it here with Annie, get yourself comfortable.
I'm the how do you say it? The
guinea pig?
test. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
All right. So go ahead. Let's all together breathe in for 3. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in again for 3. Breathe in 1, 2, 3. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. And release slowly in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, breathe in for 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 1, 2, 3. And release in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing for 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 1, 2, 3. Release in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last time. Breathing for 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 1, 2, 3. Release in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this point, if you don't have your eyes closed already, go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to feel the breath. And I want you to feel the calm. And I want you to sense the breath going in and out through your body. The inhale and the exhale. As you invite this calming, beautiful, peaceful sensation within your body. You understand that by being calm in this beautiful state of peace and relaxation, you're going to be able to scan yourself. Scan yourself of wherever it feels a little bit off. perhaps a little tight, a little warm, wherever it feels not balanced. So go ahead and use the breath, and you're going to take a deep breath and release. And imagine yourself having this beautiful magical hand. This hand that starts above your crown, and it starts going down your face, your neck, and it will point out this hand. Perhaps it will begin to pulsate, or you might see a little vibration, or you might even see a color, and it will show you wherever you have something that feels off as it goes down your throat, your shoulder. This beautiful magical hand going down your biceps, your forearms, all the way down to your fingertips, scanning you along the way, showing you, guiding you where something feels off. And it goes back to your upper chest, your upper back, and it goes down your stomach, your lower back, working its way down, further down, at the deepest level, going to your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calf, all the way down to your toes. Wherever it showed you or you felt a little tingling sensation, a little bit off, go to that area. And go to that area in your mind and focus on it. And we're going to go to that area and we're going to see what's going on by asking a question. And I will start. Every cell in our body has a voice. As every cell in our body is holding on to the experience, the emotions, the sensations, the memories, the beliefs. So every cell in our body has the ability, the consciousness to speak to us, connect with us, allow us to understand what's happening. And now, as you have already gone down the path of understanding the underlying emotion, and now you understand where it sits within your body, I want you to focus on it by giving it love. You're recognizing it, that this too has consciousness. So give it love. Allow it, process it, hug it. Feel tight with it, lovingly. And you will just go ahead and speak to it and say, I understand you. I see you. And now I know. And I thank you for making me aware of what needs to be released and transcended today. And with much love, I want you to take the emotion, the discomfort, and anything that no longer serves you at this moment in time. And imagine watching these beautiful little particles within you, almost like little sparkling stardust, coming out of that area of your body. It's gently, slowly coming out, beautifully coming out of your body, As you see it going out, you start seeing that it goes into a beautiful bubble, like golden light bubble. All these little particles go into it. The emotions that no longer serve you, the discomfort, go into this beautiful golden bubble. And now, we'll go ahead and start rising and rising, higher and higher, lifting it away as you keep seeing it going further and further from you, above your head, above your roof, above the clouds, as it keeps moving further and further away from you. These emotions, this discomfort, as you see the distance getting larger and larger, moving away from you, across the clouds, across the earth, across the stars and the planets, galaxy, the universe, further and further away from you, to the point where you can no longer see it. You can no longer feel it. And you're sending it away with love, with the fact that it has brought you attention to the matter that you need to understand about yourself, and let go. And letting it go, releasing it. So let it go. Honor it. Release it. And thank it. It's when we thank things, we are grateful for things. We show gratitude for all experiences, both positive and negative in our eyes. So just release it and let it go, as it is now out into the ether, away from you. And what's now being replaced inside of you, let's go back to a beautiful purple healing light above your crown. And you will invite this purple light to come into you through your crown, through your face, your neck, your arms, your torso. It's filling you with this beautiful, magnificent light, this healing light, across your hips, your legs, all the way down to your toes. This beautiful purple light is filling in all these beautiful cells, beautiful space that you have left for yourself. As you take out things, as you empty your cup, able now to fill it with positivity, positive energy, positive words, positive feelings. Beautiful purple light filling inside of you, and now you feel it expanding within you. Expanding like your consciousness expanding. Expanding like your self-love is expanding. Expanding like your self-forgiveness, self-awareness. Expanding like your gratitude for life. Expanding like your love for it all. This beautiful purple light is emanating from you. It's in every corner within your system, your entire body. But it is so powerful and so beautiful that it expands even outside of it. It helps you with this energy. It helps you with this feeling of comfort, love, supported, peaceful. and allow yourself to feel this because you do deserve it. You simply just been through an experience. Whatever it was, you've transcended it. So feel the love, feel the comfort, feel the peace, and feel the connection to yourself as you're now beginning to feel more whole again, more balanced. Let it go and integrate this into your entire system. As you have a beautiful body, a body that knows exactly what to do when it's off balanced. But now that you have focus on it consciously, you're working as a team going forward. Recognize your emotions, which you did. Recognize the moments which you have. But also recognize your ability to transcend, which you have. So bring back that peace and comfort and let it be bathed within your entire system. And when you're ready, we'll come out of this. The count of 5. So at 1, coming back to your body, to your conscious state. At 2, becoming more aware. At 3, feeling back into your body. At 4, slowly rising. At 5, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wide awake.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope all of you feel as relaxed as I feel now. We don't want to hold you more here. Please hold in this state, hold in this gratitude and love. Maybe just take you some minutes for yourself. And we see us next week. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Thanks for watching. Click on one of the videos below and don't forget to like and subscribe.